Vlog number 19, October 11th, 1708, day 11. So, work was interesting today. So many people were having a hard time while I was just watching and contemplating life. Aside from a demonic attack, which tried to make me hate women again, and I'm still getting over that. It was a bit of a disappointment. I should have done a better job with that. But that's the danger of the work that I do. And something interesting happened today, actually. Heartbrokenness occurred. And it came about because I was thinking about being with somebody in the physical, but then I realized that we were never meant to be in the physical. And instead it created this feeling of heartbrokenness. And then I started to contemplate, okay, how did this exactly happen? And, well, I eventually realized that heartbrokenness essentially is the point where love cannot reconcile itself, and subject and object basically are voided. And when this happens, it basically creates the feeling of heartbrokenness. And that feeling is basically the beginning of gnosis, or gnosis, or however you want to say that word. I'm just going to call it gnosis. After Gnosticism, it's basically the beginning of gnosis, because once the heartbrokenness occurs, it's essentially a doorway that goes beyond the conceptual mind's subject-object perception of reality. So the fact that happened means, okay, I'm probably going to go through some gnosis again at some point. It's probably already occurring at the moment. And I started realizing also that over the years, I guess you could say almost even chasing that feeling of heartbrokenness, because I knew that in the back of my mind, if I were to experience that, then I would probably be able to face gnosis in some situation. Of course, that situation would vary, and looking back on it, it's kind of hard to say if it was very selfish of me or not to do that, or whether it was just the natural course of events to take, because it could very well have been from my higher self and its desires dictating through this body talking to you, and, well, it just manifests, and the rest was history. Or perhaps it's my higher power saying something. So, who knows? But, yeah, I guess another curriculum of some kind is headed towards me. But, yeah, us heartbrokenness, it often occurs when has to be a balancing action, where I reach a point where the mind daydreams quite a bit about certain love situations, or being with somebody, talking to somebody online, and then reality hits, and or the higher order of things thinks otherwise, and essentially that desire and or dream is reconciled, and apparently the subject object of that love is dissolved, and this apparently creates heartbrokenness feeling, which then is the doorway into gnosis. So basically being shown here that love is more than the subject and the object, the perceiver perceiving something. It goes beyond that, which means it goes beyond the workings of the mind, especially the ego mind, as the ego mind, apparently mine in particular, likes to daydream and delude itself quite a bit. In my divination system, I've got what's called ghosted threes, which essentially means that my ability to ground myself in reality in regards to communication and having practical dreams is very, very difficult. And it's very slim. And I have a very difficult time. And it's one of the reasons why I started this vlog is because I had such a fear just getting my voice out there. And I'm still having a hard time like articulating what's exactly on my mind. Whereas if I'm typing on a keyboard, or even if I'm talking to someone I know, even with like just voice or video cam or whatever, I don't have such a hard time. But doing it like this to like a bunch of strangers on the internet is still something that is a bit difficult for me to do. But at least I'm just recording on a camera here, so it's not so bad. But yeah, ghosted numbers are not good. It just means that there's a lack of grounding between oneself in regards to that emanation vis-a-vis their higher power, or the what people would call the natural state, or just the ground, or yeah, basically that. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why I have such a hard time communicating, and why I tend to delude myself quite a bit. And speaking of delusions, I have a history, which goes back to the ghosted threes again. I have a history of talking to people online and just deluding myself in what-if scenarios. And I had to come to the realization again today, and I have no idea if this will stick again or not, since it's happened many, many, many times, that it's probably not going to happen. Just stop. Just stop. You're just lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself and you're enjoying it. Just stop. It's just entertainment for your ego. That's all it is. Just to further your heartbrokenness a little bit more, Make the gate a little bit wider. Why not? Make it a little bit longer. Maybe it'll help you out. Because the people you talk to online, in your experience, you just haven't really met them in real life. So, it's basically just people deluding themselves. And yeah, you've got to be more practical about things. So, yeah, I kind of just spoke my mind today because, as you can see, there's quite a bit on my mind at the moment. Day 11 is the number of gnosis, so it makes sense going right into it. So that's why I wanted to talk about heartbrokenness today. But yeah, it's my vlog, so I'll just talk about myself whenever. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you have a good day.